Great job making it this far. On your print instructions, you'll notice that there is a note before we start round 1 that says your starting chain 2 does not act as a stitch. Referencing the chart, what that means is that starting chain 2 and your first double crochet of each round are basically going to count as one stitch. What that also means is at the end of each round, when you slip stitch your round closed, you're going to insert the hook into that first double crochet. And don't worry, I'll come back to that when we get there. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up before we start. Alright, I'm starting off with my magic circle, and after I get my magic circle done, I'm going to do a chain 2. And remember, this chain 2 does not count as your first double crochet. After I work my chain 2, I am then going to work 3 double crochet into my magic circle, slowing down this first double crochet so you guys can get a refresher. I'm going to do a yarn over, insert my hook into the magic circle, do another yarn over and pull through the first loop, then do another yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, then do another yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops, and that completes 1 double crochet. Now my second double crochet, I do a yarn over, insert my hook into my magic circle, do another yarn over, pull through the first loop, do another yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, and then do another yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. Back at regular speed, I'm going to do my third double crochet, and then after this double crochet, I'm going to do a chain 1. And then after I do that chain 1, I'm going to repeat that sequence of 3 double crochets, 1 chain 1, 3 more times. Working this first round into my magic circle is a little bit awkward, so you can see how I'm using my left hand to hold onto my magic circle to give myself some tension as I'm working these stitches. I'm basically creating a granny square, and each section of these 3 double crochets acts as one side of the square. And there are 4 total chain 1s in this round, and each of those chain 1s acts as a corner of the square. Working my last 3 double crochet repeat of this round. Doing my last chain 1, and now I'm going to pull on that tail of my magic circle to tighten this circle down. Now I'm getting ready to do my slip stitch to close off this round, and remember when I said earlier that that chain 2 is not my first double crochet. This is where I am going to insert my hook, not into my chain 2, but into that first double crochet that I did at the beginning of this round. Alright, now we are ready for round 2, and before we jump into that round, I want to reference back to the diagram in your print instructions. And where the arrow is pointing is where the beginning of the round is, where you start with the chain 2 and your double crochet. And the chain 2 and your first double crochet count as one stitch. And also, because your round is starting about a third of the way on the north side of your panel, you're also going to be working the increases on that side towards the end of the round. So pay extra attention as you're working these next several rounds. Make sure that you are working your corners in the previous chain 1 spaces of the previous round. And then also make sure you're counting your repeats correctly so that your total stitch count is accurate. Again, I'm going to be walking you through this step by step, so we will go over this. I just wanted to give you a heads up before we go into round 2. Starting with my chain 2. And then working my first double crochet into the same stitch as this chain 2. Then I work 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches, 1 double crochet in each stitch. The next stitch is my chain 1 space from the previous round, so I'm going to work 1 double crochet, 1 chain 1, and another double crochet in this chain 1 space. And once I finish that off, you've just completed the north side of your panel and your first corner of your granny square. Now I am on the west side of my square, and I'm going to work 3 double crochets, and then in the chain 1 space from the previous row I'm going to work 1 double crochet, 1 chain 1, and another double crochet, all in that chain 1 space. In your print instructions, that segment, the double crochet 3 and then the double crochet chain 1 double crochet, is in brackets, so you're going to repeat that segment in the brackets 2 more times. Finishing off my second corner, and now I am on the south side of my panel, and I'm going to be doing the first repeat of the bracketed instructions. And here I'm just poking my finger through so you can see the chain 1 space of my third corner that I'm about to work. And then I'm going to start on the east side of my panel. I'm going to do the second repeat of my bracketed instructions, and then I will do my fourth corner of the panel. Finishing off my last repeat with a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet to finish the fourth corner in the previous chain 1 space of round 1. This is going to be the last double crochet of round 2. Your next stitch is going to be a slip stitch into the first double crochet of your round 2. As you are progressing in your crochet skills, you'll find it's helpful to go back and forth from written instructions and your chart for clarity. I've got the arrow pointed at the end of round 2, and here you can see I'm working my double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the previous chain 1 space from round 1, and then I end it off with a slip stitch. In rounds 3, 4, and 5, and 6, you can see that I will be adding stitches after the fourth corner as my square gets bigger. And back to finishing off round 2, I am inserting my hook into the first double crochet of round 2, doing a slip stitch, and now I am ready for round 3. Meet me in the next video and I'll walk you through the rest of this panel step by step.